Hello, and welcome to this T-Level Tactics video on using data for Root Core 3 data of the T-Level Digital Support Services course. In this video, we'll identify key areas in organizations where data is used, we'll explain the uses of data within each area, and we'll also evaluate some data to make some recommendations. Before we get started, T-Level Tactics videos are not endorsed or sponsored by any education institution or qualification awarding body, and these videos should not be used as a replacement to any classroom learning you might be receiving, as the discussion and practical activities with your peers and lecturer will help to expand your thinking and comprehension. Instead, these materials are best used as preparation material or as revision to reinforce your learning. And these videos will also cover the same content and required knowledge for Root Core 3 of the T-Level Digital Business Services course. However, there will be more contextualized towards IT support roles. Let's get started. Data is used throughout organizations in nearly every department, and it can be difficult to quantify how useful data can be until there's a financial result from it, such as saving money and time, or creating a strategy that increases income. Organizations use data in three different ways: for analysis, for marketing, and for operational management. With analysis, data can be used to identify trends and patterns, monitor performance, create forecasts and predictions, and inform decision-making. In marketing, it could be used to create customer profiles, target customers, target promotions to specific audiences. And in operational management, data could be used to monitor and control different operations and aspects of the business, monitor KPIs, key performance indicators, and also improve services. So let's have a bit more of a look at each of these different aspects. We'll start with analysis. When we analyze data, we could identify some different trends and patterns. A trend is a general direction in which something is developing, whereas a pattern is repeated or a regular way in which something happens. And this can help organizations anticipate market changes and can inform strategic planning and resource allocation. We could use time series analysis, which is analysing data points collected or recorded at specific time intervals. We could use a moving average to smooth data to identify trends, and some data visualizations using different graphs and charts to illustrate these trends. We could use this in social media, for instance, to track engagement patterns over time, or in retail to track product sales throughout the year and identify when they're most popular. We could also analyse performance, the continuous assessment of organisational performance against some set objectives. This could be metrics for staff performance, such as productivity or employee turnover, or for product or service usage, such as customer satisfaction and usage frequency. We could use dashboards for this, and real-time data visualization tools for tracking different key performance indicators. We could use analytics software for deeper performance analysis as well. For example, we could track delivery times to give estimates to customers, increasing customer satisfaction with their experience. We could also create some forecasts. We could use predictive analytics, using historical data to make informed predictions about future events. We could use regression analysis, identifying relationships between different variables. We could use time series forecasting, predicting future values based on past data. We could even use some machine learning here, and different algorithms that can learn from historical data to improve those predictions. And here's an example of what a forecast might look like. In this example, the blue line indicates real data that we have, and then we've created a forecast on the right. The dark red line indicates the general forecast, and then there are two orange lines, one above and one below, indicating confidence boundaries, which essentially means that based on the data we've got, the highest this value we think it will go, and the lowest that this value we think it can go. Some good examples of forecasting could be in retail, where we can manage inventory based on sales forecasts and how much of each item we might need. It could be in finance and risk assessment and financial forecasting. But it does have some limitations. The accuracy of predictions depends on the quality of the input data, and rapid changes can render predictions completely inaccurate. And we can use our analysis for decision making. Organizations will use the analysis of data to make decisions rather than just relying on their intuition or gut feeling. And leaders will often use a decision-making framework to do this. Data is most useful in the first stage of each. Two example frameworks include the OODA loop, which stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act, or the PDCA cycle, which stands for Plan, Do, Check, Act. Let's look at marketing next. In marketing, we could use our data to build some customer profiles, which are detailed descriptions of target customers based on demographic, behavioral, and psychographic data. It helps businesses understand their customers better, leading to more effective marketing strategies. And it enables personalized marketing efforts, improving customer engagement and satisfaction. For customer profiles, our data could be sourced from CRM systems, social media analytics, surveys and feedback forms, or a customer's purchase history. Netflix uses customer profiles to recommend specific titles based on watch history and categories of items watched. We can also use our marketing data to better target customers, and this involves segmenting the market and focusing marketing efforts on specific groups of consumers. This could focus on an age group with the least sales and creating a marketing campaign to increase purchases from that group, for example. Coca-Cola regularly run marketing campaigns that directly target women to try and convince them to purchase Diet Coke, which is a good example of how they're using their data. Marketing could be targeted by demographic segmentation, such as age, gender, income, geographic segmentation, location-based targeting based on country or whereabouts in the world, behavioral segmentation, which is based on purchase behaviors, impulse purchases, purchase frequency, brand loyalty, for instance, and psychographic segmentation, which is all based on people's lifestyle and the values they hold. And we can increase our marketing efficiency by focusing our resources on high potential customer segments. We can improve conversion rates by delivering relevant messages to the right audience, most importantly, in the right way. We can also use our data to use direct promotions, which is communicating directly with consumers to encourage immediate action from them, using direct communication channels such as email marketing, social media advertising, SMS marketing, and postal campaigns as well. Data could be used to enhance these direct promotions by personalizing messages based on customer data to increase engagement, or by tracking and analyzing campaign performance metrics such as open rates, how many people have opened the email or the message, and also click-through rates, how many people have clicked through to purchase an item or visit a page. As an example, Steam will send emails and notifications whenever a game on a user's wishlist goes on sale, and they can track the analytics for how many people then purchase that product once they've received that email. And finally, let's look at how data is used in management. In monitoring, we can track operational processes to ensure they're running efficiently and effectively. And it can help to identify bottlenecks and inefficiencies in operations, ensuring that resources are being used optimally to meet organizational goals. We can use a variety of tools and data visualizations in monitoring. We could use performance dashboards for real-time data analytics. We could also use process mapping and flowcharts. KPIs are key performance indicators, which are measurable values that demonstrate how effectively an organization is achieving their key business objectives, and these will be set themselves by the organization or business. Our data enables organizations to measure against these KPI targets. KPIs provide a clear focus for operational performance and help align team efforts with organizational goals. And they enable data-driven decision-making by providing quantifiable metrics. KPIs can be used for efficiency, such as production efficiency and cycle time, quality, such as defect rates and customer complaints, and finance, such as cost per unit or profit margins for a product. We can also use data for improvement. Service improvement involves using data to enhance the quality and efficiency of services provided to customers. Continuous service improvement leads to higher customer satisfaction and loyalty. It helps organizations to stay competitive in a rapidly changing market. Data could be used to identify areas for service improvement, such as analyzing customer feedback and satisfaction surveys, monitoring service delivery times and response rates, and implementing things like A/B testing for service offerings. You might want to find a little bit more about A/B testing online. So, for our Patreon members, you can now take a little bit of a breather as you download the task sheet from patreon.com/T-Level-Tactics. Have a go at the first task. I know there's been a lot of information so far, but this task isn't too long, hopefully only about 30 minutes. So pause the video here, have a go at the first task, and then come back when you're ready to move on to part 3. Let's have a go at evaluating some data. We'll take a look at some data that's been put into a chart for us already. It's for a department store in a city and shows the total sales in a year for each department in the store. We can see on this chart that we have 4 departments: electronics, clothing, home goods, accessories, and there's a final line for total sales that combines all the values together. What can you see in this data? Which department made the most? Which department saw the biggest dip in a single month? And which month had the largest increase in sales? Senior managers in a business will use data like this to aid in their decision making. In a meeting, they'll be asking questions about how they could improve this data and what the business will need to do to get there. They could ask questions such as, why did December see such an increase in sales? What happens in September to make consumers spend less? Accessories is creating the least income. Should we even bother continue selling these? And are electronic sales due to volume of sales or the value of individual goods? Those are just some examples. This could be information that could influence promotions and advertising in the future. Clearly, sales are lower in July, September, and November. Advertising campaigns could be scheduled for those months in the next year. One chart can give us a lot of information, and we can make a number of decisions based upon this. The more reliable the data, and the more types of analysis we have, the more effective the decisions we make can be. So if you're a Patreon member, head back to the task sheet and have a go at the second task, where you'll be making some recommendations based upon some data there. It'll only take about 40 minutes. So pause the video here, have a go, and then come back when you're ready to finish things off with a couple of short exam questions. So in this video, we've identified some key areas in organizations where data is used. We've explained the uses of data within each area, We've also evaluated some data to make some recommendations. Let's have a go at a couple of exam-style questions. Here's the first one. Explain the importance of identifying trends and patterns in data analysis. How can organizations use this information to inform their decision-making processes? And secondly, describe how data can be utilized in marketing to create customer profiles. What are the benefits of using customer profiles for targeted marketing strategies? And that brings us to the end of the video. In the next video, we'll be looking at different access controls in databases. So make sure you're subscribed at youtube.com/@tleveltactics. And if you haven't visited the Patreon yet, head over to patreon.com/tleveltactics to take a look at all the exclusive content that our members get. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.